All right, Bob, that 64 today was almost a 63. I know you wanted that birdie on the last, but I think between 287 feet of putts over the last 2 days, you'll take it. What's been the key to success for you here at Caves Valley?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I've putted absolutely unbelievably, but it's tee to green, I've been really good. Iron play, approach play to the green's been pretty special as well. So it's not just been one thing. It's been a combination of things, but I'm feeling comfortable on this golf course.
Now, I know that it's not just one thing, but you do speak a lot about the putting coach change that you made at Pebble Beach earlier this year. Can you describe to somebody that's watching from the outside looking in what that actually looks like from a technique change perspective?
Yeah, if I showed you 2 videos, you wouldn't be able to tell anything. It's just simplifying what I was doing before, and to be honest, it's just trying to return the putter to as square up as possible, to where it starts, to where it finishes. I mean, you aim it and you swing it, and then you hope that where you're aiming it is where it takes off. So kind of putter face, how square the putter face has an impact is a massive thing, and that's really all we're working on. It's fairly simple.
You've showed up big in some really big events this year. The U.S. Open comes to mind. Now you have an opportunity here at a FedEx Cup playoff event. What's your confidence like going into the weekend here?
Yeah, confidence is good. Wasn't so good the last 2 weeks, but obviously Mike, putting coach, came out. He was there last week, so we've done some work, and then Simon, my swing coach, was out this week. So yeah, the last week and a half I've put in some serious hours on the range, and yeah, I'm getting the reward.
Why wasn't it good the last 2 weeks?
Just look, when I play links golf, I change my technique. I change quite a lot of things within ball position, setup. It's a completely different game when you go to links golf. So I kind of neglected the technique, and when I came back out, it was a little bit off and couldn't work it out. So yeah, it was a mayday call for Simon to come over, but no, it's been worth it, and look, we got on great, and he just simplifies things for me.
Seems like the mayday call is working out. We appreciate the time. Good luck rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
That was an interesting interview. 29 years old. He looks not a whole lot older than 19. Still youthful. Coming into his own right now. Two big wins last year. He won the RBC Canadian Open, then he won the Genesis Scottish Open. I was about to say this would be the biggest win of his career, but I don't know that anything save for a major would top winning back home in Scotland the way he did with that clutch putt on the last hole. So he referenced it, Paige. It's not just one thing that's working right now.
And it sounds like he's gotten some good assistance. And he was talking about Simon helping with his full swing. And Rolf had talked about it earlier in the day that he's made some changes that have really improved his ball striking, his iron play from 150 yards to 175. Well, I also saw some improvement in the shorter wedges that he's hit. And it's been a trend throughout this season. In fact, this is his total for the season. Not great. He's 145th in 100 and 125 yards. He's 160th in 125 to 150. So not good. But the last couple weeks, and maybe I can attribute this, or he can attribute it to Simon, we've seen some improvement. So last week at this distance, he jumped up 9 feet in that category, 100 to 125. And again, this is scoring distances. These are now sneaking into areas you're going to start draining putts. And again, 5 feet in the next category. Then so far this week, and I'm including some of the shots out of the rough just to try to give us a bigger sample size. And you can see nearly 10 feet better than his season average inside 125, 100 to 125, and again, 10 feet improvement between 125 and 150. So yes, the putting has been excellent, but he's giving himself shorter distances to the hole in these key yardages. And speaking of putting, let's take a look at some of the changes he talked about. And in this timeline is significant. He starts overall in the season, he's ranked 54th in putting, but it's a true progression. To start the season, it was pretty terrible the first couple of weeks. And that's why he added that new putting coach. You can see negative nearly 9/10 of a shot the first couple of weeks out on the tour. He added a new putting coach at Pebble Beach. And you can see that improvement. After Pebble Beach, just slightly negative strokes gained putting. And then since the PGA, where he put the new putter into play, a massive upswing on the putting. I mean, look at that difference between the start of the season and where he is now. That average, that season average, doesn't tell the whole story because it truly has been a progression throughout this year in both changing coaches and equipment.
I just thought that interview he did with Kara was so fascinating to me. It showed me a European mentality when it comes to playing the game. Almost every American that you talk to doesn't change their technique when they're playing links golf versus regular golf. You know, they have to use the ground more. They can run the ball up to maybe keep it a little lower into the wind. But he said, I actually change my technique when I go from links golf to regular golf. I change my ball position. I change everything. And that is just so European to me in the imaginative way that he plays. And particularly for a kid that grew up, you know, off the west coast of Scotland, my heavens.
And there's one of those flies again. Do you see that, Rolf?
No, I don't see him.
Left shoulder. Animal.
There he goes.
You said something interesting. I think it's worth sharing if people didn't see the pregame show about MacIntyre in terms of how he's perceived. You said he was the most
underrated player in the world. I mean, maybe unrecognizable player in the world. He's a little fidgety. You watched him in that press conference. He's kind of moving around all the time. I had said to Paige earlier, it always looks to me like he just woke up. But he's a kid. My heavens. I like him. It's very refreshing. He's totally honest. But he is unrecognizable. He could walk through here right now, I believe, and go up to that clubhouse, and nobody would even know who he was.
I think his profile is going to grow this weekend, playing alongside Scotty Scheffler, and who knows, maybe walking out of here with a big title. Head to East Lake with a whole lot of momentum. He's projected to go from 20th in FedEx Cup points all the way to number 3 if he does hold on to win.